I didn't know how to activate it, but I figured it out. So, how's everybody doing? Fix my hat. I look like the Colonel or something. Looks like I'm a little blurry here. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sitting outside because it's very, very hot today. But out here on my terrace, I get a nice breeze. So I figured I'd come out here and go live from the outdoors of Cebu City, Cordova. Um, but you know, so how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Had a good week. I'm just trying to get some documents lined up for my wife, so she can get a bank account, and that's been kind of a harrowing process. It's funny because we went to one bank and they said the last week, and we didn't really note where we were. We were just walking along and we thought, oh, let's go in and check this place out and see what's required for you. So we went in and they told us what we needed. So we went and we got those things, but then we couldn't find the bank that we went into. So we tried other banks, and none of them would give her an account with her existing credentials. So now we have to jump through a few more hoops to get a bank account for her. So we'll figure it out. But getting the documents here, like pretty much everything, like when we got our marriage license and her MBI clearance and things like that, all relatively smooth and simple. It's just pretty much how busy the place is. If there's a huge line, then it's going to take you longer. However, since she's pregnant, we got priority at the MBI, and there was a line practically all the way to the door, and they shuffled her right up to the front, and we were in and out of there in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So I don't know. I'm not saying get somebody pregnant, but it's a smooth and quick way to get the heck out of there in a fast, in a fast, in a fast way. So, yeah. Not much new. That's what I did all week, was just trying to get documents, and my internet was down for several days, but that was pretty much solved by Tuesday. Today's Saturday here. It's Friday in the States. Soon to be Saturday there, but so we're a bit ahead of you guys there. But yeah, we got it all back up online, and now I'm able to go live smoothly. It's funny, the last one that I did, the last live, people are having a hard time watching it after the fact, because I think I lost connection as it was uploading. After I was finished, I lost internet connection, so I don't think it uploaded properly or something. I don't really know, but so yeah, that's what happened with that. Hold on, let me give this the lens a wipe, because it seems to be blurry. Just a minute. There we go. That's better. So, not much to really, no subject matter, just, whatever anybody wants to talk about or say. Last few lives I've made, we've had some trolls come out, so that's always fun. Hopefully that happens. It gets a little action. So it's funny, YouTube is really interesting in that sense. People tend to like the negativity, and if I put some kind of perceived negative kind of video up, the performance of it does a lot better than just my regular content that, which is what I would rather do. I don't want to clickbait people into it or even be controversial, but it seems to resonate with people when you do those types of things. But, that's not my philosophy. My philosophy is to just try to be positive and try to upload the things that appeal to me. Like I did 2 or 3 videos this week. With just trying to have like a positive message and 300 views. But if I would have titled it like "Philippines sucks, don't come here," then people would have clicked on it, and it would have got more push in the algorithm. Paul says, "Greetings, friend." Hey, Paul. Nice to see you. Lovely day here in Cebu, just outside of Cebu City. We had pretty good weather this week. Not much rain. Last week it rained massively. But it's the rainy season, so it usually rains every day, but some days, it just rained for like 10 minutes or something, and then you're done with it. But other days, it'll rain a lot. What happened last week was we had a storm blow over, and that's why we lost internet because and power. We were out of power, got knocked out. It wasn't a brownout; it was actual power outage because lightning storms wreaked havoc on some of the electrical, and we were out of electricity for several hours, and then it came back on again, and so Jared Gillespie just came on, sorry, and he said, "I'm a new sub, and you struck me as the least dramatic of the expats. Don't feed the trolls, and they'll get bored quick." Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to, be a positive kind of resource to people, because, I've been here a lot, you guys. I've been in the Philippines for off and on for quite a long time. I've made mistakes. I've learned from them. And that's the important part. Nobody's going to be perfect, but when you come here, you are affronted with a lot of different things. And even though you watch vloggers and you read and you talk to people on Facebook groups and forums and whatnot, it doesn't really totally prepare you. It gives you like a good sense, of situations you're affronted with, to where you can adapt to them a little bit easier, but you're never really going to get a true sense of what it's like until you're here. I always talk about, how Filipinos really want to see snow, and they look forward to feeling that cold because they've lived in this hot for so long, and so it's looked upon as though it would be, like heaven to them. But then when they go there, and this is just a generalization, but just from the Filipinos that I've known that have went there, and especially to cold areas, they pretty much, they're, really excited, kind of like a kid when it snows, and they'll rush out, and it's beautiful, it's great, and then, they start to get the chill. They'll pull out their camera, they'll do their selfies, and they'll run inside because it's just super duper duper cold. And it's kind of the same thing with the Philippines. You can hear people talk. I forgot the point is that you can tell Filipinos, but it's so cold, and they just don't grasp it. So the other side of the coin is when expats come here, they can't really grasp the weather. Like Mitch Lewis just came on and he said, "Hello, I'm from Florida." And I was just about to compare Philippines to Florida. A lot of people that I know that have come from Florida say that the Philippines is a whole nother beast. Florida is humid and has kind of a tropical feel, but the Philippines far outshines the weather in Florida. And I lived in Guam, and Guam's pretty similar to the Philippines, but even Guam is more tame than the Philippines weather. So, you can hear people online talk about all these things. You can hear people, tell you, how hot it is here and whatnot. And they're right, it is, but you don't fully grasp it until you actually come here and feel it for yourself. So it is pretty intense. And, you know, one thing I haven't talked about or discussed, and I don't really see it talked about so much. I have seen it talked about, but one thing for sure is like my apartment here was freshly built. It was brand new. I was the first person to move into it, but there there's already ants. So the ants, no matter what you do, no matter how clean you keep your place, and no matter what you do on your upkeep, the ants come. And there's just nothing you can really do about it. I mean, you can take measures. Some people spray and do things like that, but it's just kind of a futile endeavor because there's just massive amounts of ants. So you're always going to have the bugs and the mosquitoes. There's a lot of mosquitoes. And they're definitely going to be an issue. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because I'm sitting outside, and you know, you have to keep your garbage. Keep my garbage out here. There's no real like good garbage system, and so the ants are all over my feet. But let's see here. I got a couple questions or comments. Mitch said July and August are brutal in Florida. Yeah, that's like the summertime in the States. Here, you know, you get a reprieve. Like January through June, it's super duper hot. But when the rainy season kicks in, it helps a little bit, but you don't notice that much of a difference in temperature. So it's always hot here, always. So Paul asked, did you decide to stay in Cebu for now instead of returning stateside for work? Yeah, the timing just isn't very good given my wife's pregnancy. And, hold on, we got to pause it. Elvis has just entered the building. Okay, so we got that out of the way. What's up, bro? You know, Lily's going to be, my wife's going to be delivering, you know, relatively soon. And my plan wasn't to go back and work for very long. I don't have to work very long. Sorry, I'm laughing at Elvis. You're welcome. You're welcome very much. I was just going to do like a short stint and then come back, and it would have carried me through, you know, until some other things start kicking in. I've been dabbling now with some stocks, so hoping, you know, that'll go well. And I do have a couple investments that I could cash in. I don't really want to, but I could. So yeah, to answer your question, Paul, I will be staying here throughout her pregnancy. And hopefully some other things will work out and I'll never need to return. I have a building that is commercial / residential, and my tenant informed me that she's going to be moving out. So that'll actually give me a boost because I can get deposits and first and last month's rent and all that stuff from the new tenant. And I already have it lined up. So it's going to be great. It's really, really good timing. So let me scroll back up here. Mitch says Cebu was hot in December. April was not that bad in Davao. Yeah, different regions have different climates a little bit, you know, but I think also too we start to adapt a little bit. I've never been to Davao though, or Davao, but from what I hear, you know, it is a little bit cooler there. I don't know if it's more mountainous or what the issue is with the geology or whatever you call it there. But yeah, and a lot of people have, you know, fears of going to Davao, but really Davao is, from what I hear, fantastic. So Elvis said, are you option trading? No, I just, my friend has a company and he's been trying to get me to invest in it. And he's really good at that kind of stuff. And I don't know much about it. So he's kind of walking me through it. So I'm real ignorant to that stuff, and I only did like one trade so far. So we'll see. And like I said, he's going to help me through it. I just got to shift some funds around so that I can do more with it. And my internet was really sucks there for a few days. So I just kind of transferred one thing in over. But Andrea Bella Tapping says, "Hi, Andrea. How's Lily? She's doing good. She's showing a lot more because we went to MBI and they noticed that she was pregnant, and so they shuffled us up to the front of the line. So that was cool. So, she's eating a lot and staying healthy. I make her healthy food as much as possible. Otherwise, she would just try to eat bread and other things. Yeah, I learned that's Donna, Elvis. I didn't know that the first time. I was confused by it because the name, but yeah, now I get it. I get it that's Donna. So hey, Donna, good to see you. And so Elvis says it's hot, just like Cebu. He's referring to Davao, and so yeah, pretty much. Like people say that Baguio is, a cooler place to go, and it is, but it's still super hot. I mean, And my bro here, a foreigner, escapes to the Philippines. He's got a channel himself, you guys. Check him out. Really good guy, good philosophy. He's on that carnivore diet, and so he's got a lot of good information about that right now. He's posting, so check out his channel. So Ben says the stock market will eventually take all your money. Only criminals get rich in the markets. The common man gets fleeced. Yeah, if you have that knowledge, then maybe you can get in real quick and get out. But I'm hedging my bets on other things, and I'm hoping that those things pan out. So it should be good, and my real estate will really give me a boost. And I'm thinking about probably if I can keep that property for a little while longer. It's already appreciated because it's in a really good location. Really good location. So I might be able to sell it for a good chunk of change here in maybe a year and a half. So things are in the works. So I believe that you shouldn't have worry. That's kind of something that I've learned from my philosophy that I adhere to. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't have any worry. I know that there's bigger forces at play. So Dot says he's been on the carnivore for 5 years. Yeah, you mentioned that the other day that you mostly eat meat. So I assumed that I was going to ask you if you were on that carnivore. So 5 years, and so you got good experience at it. So Jared says, I hear Malabale, probably saying that wrong, is one of the coolest places. Bukidnon, probably saying that wrong also, is on my list as well, besides Luzon. Any others I should check out to escape the heat? I'm terrible with the names, as you can tell of me trying to read what you wrote. But I have heard from Filipinos that anywhere mountainous tends to have cooler breezes at night. So where I can pinpoint those, I'm not really sure. I'm sorry. But, do a little Googling around and look for that. Google like the coolest places in the Philippines, and then start asking more specifics to other people that have been there. Listen, I have a Facebook group where I'm up to almost 500 members now. So there's a lot of new expats, a lot of experienced expats. So check out that group. It's called Philippines Expats Group. It's on Facebook. And I'm the moderator there, so I keep all the trolls down. So check that out and come ask questions there, and people will probably kick in a lot of good information. Um, um, Foreigner escapes to the Philippines. Pan out. Ha, yes, nice. Right? I said that for you, so I'm glad you got it. Let's see here. Elvis said, what I've found is the only good way to go about the stock market is long-term investments. And then he says, I'm coming back in February. February. What is this? September, October, November, December, January, February. 5 months. Fantastic. Are you going to be down in Mindanao, or are you going to go somewhere else? That's great, man. That's good news. I'm glad to hear it. So get all your gear and all your equipment and come here and shock the world. Everybody wants to see the return of Elvis. So, but yeah, I'm really excited about the future. I don't believe in having worry. I feel that if I put my faith in, my higher power, which is God, that things will work out. And if you believe, and you don't have those worries and fears, everything tends to work out anyways. I mean, so yeah, don't overthink things. Don't worry about stuff. Just stay your course, do your right things, and adhere to the teachings, and your life will bear fruit. So Elvis says, I'll be your way to visit. Fantastic. That would be fantastic. I'd love to see you again and return the favor for dinner. I haven't been back to that place, but it was pretty good. I liked that. That squid I got was really good. So thanks for that. And I look forward to you guys coming back and seeing Donna and chatting it up with you guys again. That was fun. So I'm just going to stay on here for about an hour. I got to go shopping. We're about 20 minutes into it, so it's going to be a short live stream today. But yeah, I've got things to do before the market there. It closes down, kind of. It doesn't close, but it gets kind of slow. And then, some of the good vendors close down until the evening time. So if I get there, before 2 p.m. our time, then I can get the fresher fish and the fresher vegetables. So Elvis says he'll bring a cigar for congratulations on the new baby. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll have the baby by then. Fantastic. I appreciate that, man. That'll be cool. That's an exciting thing, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's a huge blessing. Don't know, if it's going to be a boy or a girl yet, but we're going to find all that stuff out. We're trying to get the Phil Health for her, which has also been, Google, it wasn't the most reliable. We went to where it said to go, and it turned out to just be a pay station, so we couldn't get the documents. And it turned out we didn't have a couple of the documents that she needed to get it. Oh, I did? Sorry, James said I missed his post on how to get rid of your ants. Let's see here. What did you say? I'm scrolling up here to see what James said. Where is it? Elvis option ants. I don't see it, James. But I could just be missing it because it's hard to scroll and talk and hold this stupid little microphone. I bought another hands-free microphone, and yeah, Jared says he doesn't see it either. I don't know where it is. A lot of people have said like borax and other things, and then they'll take it back to the nest or whatever. And there's a couple other techniques, but I haven't tried anything yet, really. And the ants, they just pretty much attack the garbage, but out here on the outside, because I feed the cats and I've got my garbage bags out here, it'd be hard to get rid of them on the outside. Inside, they just kind of climb to wherever we keep the garbage bag. And not a huge problem, but it's something that you're always going to see when you live in the Philippines. So, yeah, I don't know where that comment went though, bro. I scrolled up to the beginning of the chat and I didn't see it just in my quick skimming of it. So sorry about that. But I don't see it. And Jared also says he doesn't see it either. Elvis said, "Can I call you on Messenger or is not set up like that?" Yeah. People call me on Messenger. There's some kind of parameters with it because it is a page, but Lily has a Facebook and you could call there too. I'll email you later the contact info on it. So a foreigner escapes to the Philippines, says, yes, borax and sugar works, but you have to refill it every week or so. So that's a good tip. I've heard that the borax is a good technique to kill or reduce or get rid of entirely. So I'll try that. One guy that, oh, here we go. We have Sick Grandpa. If you don't know, Sick Grandpa was on Expats Trash, and he was one of the people, as he says, took Expats Trash down. And he says, Sick Grandpa, which is also Big Shot Travel. He's kind of more well known for that. He says, what's up, man? You're the new spokesman for Expat Trash. They are using you, bro. Man, I'm not a spokesman for anybody. But it just gives me a platform to where I can talk about some of the stuff that I don't like. So, and I don't follow like any YouTubers. So, I dig their content. I think they make really cool videos, but, no, Big Shot Travel. I am not their spokesman, and they're not using me. They don't talk to me or anything. It's just they post something and I go and I comment, but I have no affiliation to them, if that's what you mean. So, and also, you and I, Big Shot Travel, Jared said, I thought that was just Jasper's alternate. What? Expats Trash or Sick Grandpa? Big Shot Travel. I'm not sure which channel you're referring to. But yeah. Oh, back to Big Shot Travel. You and I talked about doing an interview together, and I don't really know what would be the point of it, to be honest. If you wanted to like answer some hard questions and keep it kind of relatively calm, we could do it. But I'm not really sure what would be gained from it, I guess. So I'm not sure on that, brother. But like I told you before, I don't have hate in my heart for anyone. That's against my beliefs, and I don't hate you. So last time you said, why do you hate me? I don't. I just disagree with some of the things that you do in your life, and that's up to you, But I'm here to like try to encourage people to do better and do different, and you know what I'm referring to because you told me on your stream. So no hate in my heart for you. I just hope that you can get on a better path. That's where I'm at with it. So it's good to see you. God bless. I hope that everything is going well, and hopefully you can evolve your approach. That's what I have to say. Yeah. A foreigner escapes to the Philippines, says, right on, Ben. Keep the faith. We will pray for Sick Grandpa. And that's what I have been doing, Sick Grandpa. You can ask my wife. You can ask my wife. We pray, every meal, and before we read each night, we pray. And I have included you and Jasper and all the vloggers that I disagree with, that they may change their approach. So Sick Grandpa comments, and he says, if you don't watch any YouTube content, why are you commenting on us? I didn't say that I don't watch YouTube content. I don't subscribe or be a regular viewer to some of the content. But when a channel comes up and they've got like a lot of views or something, I'll typically look to see what they're talking about, and most of the time it doesn't resonate with me. So I'm familiar enough to be able to know that they're on the broad path, and they should try to evolve and get on the narrow path. So Sick Grandpa said, expat trash collector is using you as a weapon. Well, they're not. I'm just a small fry in a big pond, bro. Nobody watches my stuff. I don't have, I don't even have 2,000. I don't even have 1,500 subscribers. So I have no traction, and nobody even really hears what I have to say. So, if they're going to use somebody, they would use somebody bigger. And they only emailed me the one time to see if they could use that clip. Like today, if you watch the World Zoom video that they re-uploaded, I'm in the beginning of it. Let's see here. Sick Grandpa. Sick Grandpa says, let's have dinner in Cebu and hang out. I am a Christian too, bro. Whew. Well, that's a can of worms, my brother. Do you know if you were to go walk around and knock on every door in America, most people would say that they were Christians. But the unfortunate reality is they're not walking on the path. It's like in the Bible where it says, the priests or whatever, they come to Jesus and they say, Lord, Lord, didn't I prophesy in your name? Didn't I do all these things? But they have other things in their lives that don't align with the faith. So what does the Lord say? He says, I never knew you. And like it says the Lord will spit the lukewarm out of his mouth, right? So what that means is, the people that have the knowledge and know the path they're supposed to be on, yet walk on an opposite path in any aspect of their lives, are looked at as the most egregious by God. So you're either on fire, or you're lukewarm, or you're cold. And the things that make you look the most in error is to be lukewarm. So, Sick Grandpa, I'm not the judge or the jury, but the drinking and the things that you have displayed show that you need to look at your walk a little bit better. Mitch says, I'm disappointed. ETP is being attacked by Jurgen's boy and Ricky Drama. So Ricky Drama is in the house, by the way, and he's here commenting, Mitch. And so maybe he has something to say about that. Let's see. James says, my posts are not posting. That one came up. And then your next one, James says, buy ant bait. They will take it back to the nest and kill the queen. So that one also came up. It could be my internet connection. It's not the greatest sometimes. So maybe that's not why. Jared Gillespie says, it's getting hard to keep track of who's who. There's so much drama. Keep doing you, though. I'd rather watch chill video of everyday life than someone trying to film some stranger's cleavage. Right, like Philly in the Philippines. Yeah, that guy. It's funny. Like I actually clicked on one of his videos from the old days, and it was just regular content. So I watched the whole video, and it would be great if he just did stuff like that. Jared says, James, I see your new post now. Yeah, your new posts are coming up now. So Sick Grandpa says, my walk is 5 stars, bro. Just meet up with me. Well, hey, brother. I did see you smack that guy from behind. Nonetheless, you came to his live stream and smacked him. And we're not supposed to have hate in our heart or be aggressive or anything. So I'd encourage you to relook at those things and try to alter your approach. That's my encouragement to you, Big Shot Travel. Foreigner in the Philippines says, right on, Jared G. Yeah, check out Foreigner in the Philippines channel. Very informative, very good guy. I'm going to actually put a link to his channel on my community tab this afternoon, so you can click on that and subscribe if you decide you like what he has to say. So a foreigner in the Philippines says, why would you call yourself Sick Grandpa? Very, very good question. That's a good question. So why do you call yourself Sick Grandpa? And I don't want to get into too much of the things that I've seen on you on YouTube and whatnot, but it seems to be you also. Sick Grandpa says, who is that? Who is what? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Sick Grandpa. But he's asking you, so it doesn't really matter who it is. Just if you want to answer, go ahead and answer. Anyways, so check out his channel. I'll put a link up later on, so you can. Okay, so Sick Grandpa answered, because I am a grandpa and I am sick out here and killing it, bro. Okay, but what are you killing? And you're sick out here. Sick like how the kids say, oh, that's sick. Like, in other words, it's good, like you're good or something. I don't get the connection. But anyways, so yeah. Not really sure what to say about that, my brother. But just remember that please look up sick in the Urban Dictionary. So yes, he's saying it like my son, who's in his low 20s, says, oh, that's sick, which means essentially, oh, that's cool. Like we used to say, like Fonzie, oh, cool. But he's saying sick in the sense that, oh, that's cool. So no need to look up in the Urban Dictionary. I just translated it for you. But brother, man, I mean, we're supposed to point to our brothers in Christ, their errors. And I'm going to say that a lot of things you do are not in line with his teachings. Mitch says, I think Ricky drama can be offensive. You think so? I think so too. But that's on him. He's got a channel and he can redeem himself. So I would like to see Ricky Drama do some more wholesome type of stuff. It's all about drinking and profanity and girls and whatnot. And if it's just for show, well, then that's not doing much for your walk with who you claim to believe in. So hopefully you can get right in those areas of your life. Sick Grandpa says, put out the link for that channel. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I'm inept. I'm on a cell phone. I don't know how to do all that kind of stuff. But I'll put it up on my community tab later on. So Mitch says Ricky Drama's behavior here is fine. Yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, he's just discussing, and that's great. So Saturn's here. He says I'm late as usual. Well, hey, you made it to the show, so that's good. Better late than never, right? So Sick Grandpa says, that's a troll video, bro. Do you believe everything? Well, no, I don't believe everything, of course. But I did see you making out with a lady boy once a while back. And I'm sure that that's not, you know, something that is approved, you know, from your higher power that you claim to believe in. So, you know, like I said, I'm not the judge nor the jury, but I really think that, you know, self-reflection is definitely something we need to do. And hopefully you can do that and be honest with yourself. You know, really look at yourself and be honest. That's what I encourage you to do. Dunce C says, your channel has arrived. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really get the clicks or anything, but it seems that I'm getting more attention, which is great. And I really hope, you know, my intention is to not put out a bunch of garbage. But in the same token, my content is really boring in comparison to a lot of people, but it's what I want to do, so I'm going to continue it. So he says, thumbs up, people, and thanks, bro. And Mitch says, ETP helped you. Well, maybe. I mean, you know, I made comments there, and I think that people became curious about what I had to say. And of course, I can't help but deny that, you know, Jasper coming on to my live stream in the past helped also. I got a lot of subscribers from that, but that doesn't translate over into views or activity on my channel. But, you know, it's good, you know, if people that dislike some of these things that are so popular on YouTube come from other sources, then that's great, because those are the kind of people that I'd want. I also do want the people that you know, are on the wrong path, so that maybe, not that I'm a super wise person or anything, but maybe I can say something to them that will stick in their mind, and they'll think about it and evolve their approach. So, yeah. So a foreigner escapes to the Philippines says, I agree. You're a good man, Ben. We all fall short, but through Christ we are made whole. Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, I you know, I'm flawed just like anybody. I make mistakes. Sometimes, you know, things do bother me. The other day in the taxi, the first taxi cab driver took me 20 minutes past my destination. Didn't know where he was. I dealt with that fine. But then after we left that destination and got in a different taxi, the same taxi did it again. And I didn't lose my patience with him, but I lost my patience inside, and I was getting pretty frustrated. So I felt that was, you know, something that I need to work on. So there's always things that I need to improve. So Mitch says, it was good exposure. Being identified with ETP as a positive. Well, yeah. I think maybe you're referring to the intro, their video where I'm on the front of it. Yeah, but they didn't really say, you know, it was me. but I think people can kind of figure it out. But I think it's positive too, especially if the people are looking for content that's not full of all the negatives that expat is trash is exposing. So Sick Grandpa, Big Shot Travel says, bro, you had crime family members in your chat talking nice to you. They are now using your video on expat trash. You're making a major mistake, bro. Well, I don't know about crime family or anything like that. I'm not really sure what you're referring to. You've said that a few times. I don't think they're necessarily like mafia or whatever you're insinuating, but I don't see how. I don't see what what ramifications can come from it. I really don't. Dunsey says Peter Van Dever is a great Christian. I'm not familiar with him, but like it says in the Bible, there is no one good, So I think there are people that, which doesn't discount, people following the right path, but I'll check him out later. I like Paul Washer. Paul Washer, I watch him pretty much every day, and he's on YouTube. So Mitch Lewis says, I found you. So yeah, that's great, and I'm glad that that you and others have found me from it. I think it's fantastic, So Sick Grandpa says, you have no idea who these people are. No, I don't. And that's why I'm not really, involved with any of them. Like you told me to not be emailing them or anything. I'm not. They emailed me once and told me that they were going to use my content for their video. And that's pretty much the only communication that we've had. So I don't see, the big conspiracy going on with it or anything. If you could be more specific, then maybe I would know what you're referring to. So Dot Connector says Sick Grandpa has 666 in his YouTube name, so I doubt he's a Christian. Well, I don't know. I don't know what his faith is or anything. I know that his behaviors, even though he says he is, his behaviors that he manifests don't tend to align with the philosophy, that's for sure. But like I said, I'm not the judge or the jury. Hopefully you guys can hear me with this wind. I've got the microphone and it has a wind blocker, but it's really super windy. But, it is what it is. I just encourage Sick Grandpa to really reflect and pray about it. It's what you should do. It's what everybody should do. Audio good. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, it is super windy though, but this microphone's good. That's what I was saying earlier. And then I got interrupted by someone, I think. But I ordered a more expensive microphone, a hands-free one, for lapel you can clip on your shirt and stuff. And it's the third one that I've ordered. But this one, I thought if I spent a little bit more money on it, it would be an improvement. But the battery dies in less than, 2 minutes. So I could be making a video, which I was doing. I made a 15-minute video as I was walking along, and then I checked the sound, and there was no sound. So it doesn't. It was a waste of money. So Lazada kind of sucks for electronics. Jared said no wind on our end, loud and clear. Thank you, Jared. Foreigner Escapes to the Philippines says, yes, you're right. Sick Grandpa is an evil troll. You really should block him, Ben. Well, my deal is, brother, that I don't block people. unless they're like, doing like porn or something. Of course, you can't really do that on YouTube, but I hope that the people that come along that have a difference of opinion, that maybe something that I say or do can plant a seed in them. And maybe I won't be the one to water that seed, but hopefully someone else can come along down the line and water it, and it'll bear fruit. So I don't tend to block people just for those reasons, because I want to be a light, and those are the kind of people that I would love to turn. So Mitch Lewis said, I also found Ricky Drama through ETP. I actually found Ricky Drama through another channel that was before Expat Trash, but she has now since been removed from YouTube too. Jared said, have you looked into a power bank? Some are sold with jumper cables, and I love mine. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that setup, but I know that as I move forward, they sell one. I went to a mall the other day, and for $100 and something bucks, I think that's the ticket, and it might have been that brand. They had one for like $90, and it was in pesos, but equivalent, it was $90, $100, and $125. So to get something really good, I'm gonna have to step it up a notch and pay more. But I'll check out that power bank. Thanks. Sick Grandpa says, are you jealous, bro? Your channel Foreigner looks boring. I believe you're referring to Foreigner Escapes to the Philippines. Well, everybody has an opinion, right? I like listening to him because he talks about things that are alternative. And I enjoy his content because he's not out there promoting that party lifestyle that you're promoting, the glamorization of your successes in life and things. He does a lot for his community, and I think channels like his should be supported. Mitch Lewis says, Ricky Drama is not being offensive. He's making this live stream more interesting. I'm glad, that he came here and he's being calm. That's great. So Sick Grandpa said, exactly. The Alu channel is a crime family channel, and the crime family has been working you. Being on Expats Trash isn't going to help you. Well, I didn't go on there. They chose, just like you, they chose you, right, as a target. And just like me, they chose me to use as a little promo. And so I'm not choosing them. They chose me just like they chose you, my brother. So Foreigner Escapes to the Philippines says, I understand your good-heartedness, but God says to separate the wheat from the tares. The tares are actually hybrid beings of which names are not and never will be written in the book of life. Yeah, but, again, I'm not the judge and the jury, so I don't know if he is a reprobate, maybe there's hope for him. So unless there's something really glaringly terrible, I will keep people around. I mean, if you look at some of my more popular videos, which there aren't that many, but I get a lot of trolls and people coming and commenting negatively. But I just take that as an opportunity to try to be a good example. So I hear you and I know what you're saying, but to me, it hasn't really gotten to that level yet. Like right now, it's not too terribly bad, and who knows, maybe we can say some things that he'll think about later. So that's my approach with it. Yeah. So, everything is a blessing. Everything happens for a reason. All the crap that happened to me in my past that really destroyed me and tore apart my life and ruined my reputation in the community. All of those things happened for the good, and in those moments I never saw how anything good could come out of it. But look at what's happened to my life. I'm in a much better place, mentally, spiritually, not physically yet. I was actually in better shape and lifting weights and in pretty good shape there, but mentally, physically, financially, everything is a lot better. And I would have never anticipated that when I was in the challenge, the trial, the struggle. So let's see here. Sick Grandpa says, my life and life experiences are light years more ethical than your foreigner. Brother, it's not a competition, man. And I know maybe you feel like you've been called out a little bit in that regard. But again, I'm not here to judge him, and I'm not here to judge you. But I know he's walking the narrow path, and judging from what you're doing and your comparisons just in these chats are not along the lines. So Ricky Drama did get involved with politics in the U.S., and that's a good thing. When I watched that video too, and I saw all the negative things that they were espousing about. And when he went on those political conventions and stuff, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I identified with that as well. And, Expat Trash criticized Alex Jones. And, I know Alex Jones gets a lot of flack, but Alex Jones has been right about most everything that he's ever said over the years. Alex Jones came after Bill Cooper. And Bill Cooper was the first person to talk about these things. And Alex Jones was kind of trumpeting the similar things. And of course, Bill Cooper got killed. And, so I started checking out Alex Jones, with the Bohemian Grove and all those things. But anyways, so, but why did he do those things? I was thinking maybe CIA or something. How did he get that, all that information to go there? It's, I don't know. But, Foreigner Escapes to the Philippines asks, is Expat Trash World Zoom? Just to verify. Okay, Expats Trash is a channel, and they came out to expose some of these vloggers that they feel are doing exploiting the Philippines for the wrong reasons, be it sexual exploitation or just showing in general like negative content, things like that. But their channel was taken down by YouTube because Sick Grandpa and Philly in the Philippines and David Bond all reported him to YouTube, and they kept it up enough to where YouTube took their side and banned Expat Trash. So Expat Trash now has a new channel. It's called Expat Trash 2, and it's not gained nearly as much traction. They've only got 1 or 2 videos up. And unfortunately, since YouTube sided against them the first time, they're going to probably side against them again and get taken down. But that's who Expat Trash is. So Mitch Lewis said, I like the CIA comment. Well, if the shoe fits, I don't know. You do know that they like the Cowboys, as they refer to them. the wild renegade types. So you never know, right? Mitch says, I think Ricky Drama wants to be young again. I think we all want to be young again a little bit, but yeah. If I could go back and do it all over again, I pretty much think I might do it better, do it different. I got to go inside and get something to drink. All this wind is drying out my mouth. So, been interesting. If it stays this interesting, I'll stay on. We're at the 1 hour mark. I was going to go, but it's kind of active in here, so I think I'll stay on until it dies down a little bit. So, I'm going to grab me something to drink. Hot here in the Philippines. I think Elvis asked, did you give in to the crazy cat and give him a home? No, but I mean, he's pretty much a home here. I feed him every day, so he sticks around, but I haven't let him in yet. This place is too small for that many animals, man, and he's a bigger cat, and I think that, the dog and the cat, they already chase each other around. So if we had two cats in here, it'd probably be like a zoo. So not letting it inside, but I'm not discouraging it from hanging out. That's for sure. Okay, got a drink. Go back out. Fan in. Whoops. The fan in here is too loud, so I'm gonna go back outside now that I got some refreshment. Sorry. Hold on, I gotta set this down. 1 sec. There we go. Okay, so I think maybe Sick Grandpa left the building and Elvis is in the building. So let's see here. Elvis asks, have you thought about a trip to Bohol? Oh, yeah. I thought about trips to everywhere, but for now, travel is kind of difficult. Everything's relatively affordable, so it's not necessarily a financial thing. But Lily's, her pregnancy. Hi, Kitty. Hold on. But Lily's pregnancy kind of inhibits. Well, it doesn't inhibit us necessarily from travel, but she just, she gets like lack of energy and things, and some days she doesn't really want to do things or go out in the heat and whatnot. And I suspect that the further along we progress into her pregnancy, it'll just be compounded. So, but yeah, no, I think I'm going to hopefully be going to Mindanao in the near future. But other than that, no, I'm not going to be going anywhere, but we'll see about Mindanao. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Jared says, I have a soft spot for animals. I fear I'd be known as the crazy dog man if I go over there. Yeah, there's a lot of dogs and cats, man. I'm in a gated kind of apartment area, but of course the cats can climb in, and the dogs, they run around and whatnot, but they all do have their own little territories, and it seems like a lot of people do feed them. The ones, at least in my neighborhood, but the ones when you get closer to the road, that's when you see the really sickly ones. But yeah, it's a hard thing. Like I've got this cat right here at my feet, and it's a big lover, and he's working on me. I mean, that's how I got these two animals that I have, was they were strays. The little kitten was only 2.5 weeks old, still supposed to be with the mom, but it was in dire straits when we found it. I thought for sure it was going to die. But I took it to a vet and got some vitamins for it, got a feeding tube, got some antibiotics, cleaned its eyeballs every day, because it had eye infections and whatnot, fed it, and it pulled through. So, yeah. Let's see. Saturn says, I cringe every time I see an expat pet the stray dogs. Rabies is a real thing in the Philippines. Yeah, it is. It's definitely something that you have to be concerned about. And actually, when I first started feeding this cat, I tried to go in my door, and I used my foot to kind of stop it, and it bit me. So I was concerned about that just because of all the rabies talk, but it hadn't exhibited any rabid signs, and because when they don't want to eat and they don't drink, then that's a telltale sign of being rabid. So it wasn't showing any of those signs, and I just stayed the course, and I didn't get rabies, so all good. But yeah. Let's see. Elvis says 2-hour ferry and rentals are surprisingly cheap in Bohol. Nice. Yeah, I would love to check it out. I think in time I will definitely be exploring those more. Mitch says, I land in Davao on September 23. The Lanang area is very nice. Awesome. So you're going to be here soon. Good for you, brother. Have you been here before, or is this your first trip? Elvis says, when we talk, we will have to discuss Mindanao. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about it for sure. Yeah, Jared says you can test it if you have water on you. One of the extreme symptoms is hydrophobia, and SF says hydrophobia. Had a rabies vax. It was fun. See, I told people that I'd gotten bit by the cat, and they were all concerned and telling me I needed to go get a rabies shot and stuff. But man, I haven't been to a doctor since, knock on wood, where any wood is. Oh, I have a shovel right here. No, I'm not going to do that. I haven't been to a doctor for since I was in my 20s. So I'm leery of doing things like that. So hopefully, I rolled the dice and it was all fine. I didn't get rabies, so all good. Oh, and here comes James. He says, LOL. I don't ever type LOL. I dislike it. It's like lol. But anyways, that harkens back to my whatever. Who cares? So, okay. It won't take years and years for it to show in the cat, and the cat's right here at my feet, right? So, lol, the cat is fine. So, lol, therefore I'm probably fine too, right? Saturn asks, is rabies shot one shot or multiple? I don't know. Maybe, SF 1987 had a rabies vax. Is it more than one shot or is it multiple? Foreigner escapes to the Philippines says, I've never seen rabies after 8 years in the jungles, province of Mindanao. Um, that's good. And I've never seen it either. And I've been to the Philippines off and on for 11 years. Haven't seen it. Just heard of people getting bit and then being afraid and going and getting the shot. That's the extent of it. And then I always ask, well, how was the animal? And they're like, oh, the animal didn't have rabies. So that's not to discount it. It does exist here, but it exists anywhere, right? It exists in the United States. Raccoons have it, coyotes have it, and they spread it, you know. So, man, a lot of people come to the Philippines with a lot of fear, you know, and rightly so, because it's the fear of the unknown, right? But once you get here, you start to look around and realize that it's the world. Philippines is the world. So if you have common sense and you have, you know, some wits about you, it's going to be okay. Don't overthink it. Mitch says this will be my third visit this year. Nice. That's great. How long are you going to stay? Just a couple weeks? Or is your plan to stay here full time eventually? Jared said, ouch, isn't that like a half a dozen spinal shots? Oh, and then he says a series. Ah. And then he says, my SF 1987 says, my third visit in a year coming next month. Oh, wow. He says, Cebu to Moabal for 4 days, then Panglao Island for 4. That's fantastic. That's awesome. I'm sure you're going to love that. Elvis says, SF, have you visited Samal Island? And then SF says it's 4 to 5 shots over a period. One of the many is an immunoglobulin in the hip. Fast needle, then a number of shots for a week. Eek! Sounds brutal. Jared says rabies isn't that common in the States, and I've seen it thrice. I like playing in the woods, though. Yeah, I haven't seen it in the States either, but I also have not seen it here either. And again, it's not to say that it's not here. It is here. But I just have not encountered it, and I hope not to. But I know I did a lot of mining and hunting, and I was in Alaska with grizzly bears walking through my camp at nighttime, shotgun right at my side, sometimes on my chest as I slept with the barrel pointed off in the other direction. Not the safest, but I mean, them grizzly bears will put the fear of God into you. So I've been out in the heart of it, to where you know, you got raccoons and badgers and in Oregon, you know, and doing those kind of things. So Mitch says, I come for 30 days and will visit one more time in December. He's planning on retiring in Mindanao. That's great, man. I'm really glad for you. As you know, the Philippines is a phenomenal place and it changes your life. So it's good that you have that plan. And yes, he says the people are wonderful, and they absolutely are. SF 1987 says Sardine Run in Moabal. Look forward to that. Yeah, I almost did that, but I didn't. But, you know, I'm going to be here for the duration, you know, maybe have some gaps in between, hopefully not. But I intend to see as much as I can. Elvis asks Mitch, why Mindanao? Mitch says, my girlfriend lives in Quezon. Isn't that up near Manila, though? SF says, can't get me out of the ocean. Even got stung by a jellyfish with my lady friend while snorkeling off Olongo Island. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, it's awesome. Like, I'm from the West Coast, and the beaches there in Washington and Oregon, and even in California, the water is just freezing. So it sure is amazing to go in that warm water here. It's awesome. Elvis asked me if I'm planning on buying a scooter. Well, like I say, eventually, but not now. Mitch says, Bukudnon. SF says, she got it bad all over her. Ouch. Did you guys pee on each other? I heard that works. Washington State here, SF. Nice. Yeah. I'm originally from Oregon, but my last stint was working in Olympia, Aberdeen, Ocean Shores area. So it's crazy. So much rain there. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I'm from the Northwest. I've lived in that area my whole life. Some of my family lives in Washington. Most of my family lives in Oregon. So back and forth, up and down the coast. Vinegar. You use vinegar. That's better than pee, right? I think you get some weird looks. Peeing on strings is false, like sucking on a big snake bite. So we got a comment from somebody called I Like Those Pies. Hey, sup? What's up? I'm from Cebu City. Hey, what's up, man? I'm from the Cordova side over across the CC Lex. Nice to see ya. Cold ocean. Yeah, the Pacific Ocean is super duper cold up on our Washington side, on the Northwest side. Saturn asks, how much is it to rent a scooter per month? Well, if you rent it from certain people, it's a lot more expensive than others. There's a person that is an expat, and his prices are really high. But if you rent it from like a local company or somebody who's doing a sideline, it'll run you anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 pesos a week. Olympic National Park is nice. Yes, beautiful. That's the thing about it, man. The environment there is just stunningly beautiful. But I've seen it my whole life. I saw it every day, and I prospected in those areas. I hunted in those areas. I fished in those areas. I didn't hunt that much, but I fished all the time, and I dug for minerals all the time in those areas. Less so in Washington because of their weird laws, but now all the laws suck when it comes to in regards to mining. So, but even back in the day when I was really, really in the heart of it, Washington's laws were a lot more stringent than Oregon's laws. So, it says, Jasper is currently on live talk like the boss. Yeah, he likes to puff up his chest and do his thing, and people like it. So, hopefully he can evolve someday. That's all I have hope for him. So, SF says he's only a few miles from it. So I know that area pretty good. And then he says Jasper is a chode. And then he says, same, gets old, hunt and fish too. Yeah, there is good gold in Washington. But, the laws just suck. And lots of logging in the area also, says Elvis. Yeah, lots and lots of logging. It used to be like the logging capital of the world, like Aberdeen, has a sign that says that, something to that effect. But, the forests are getting thinned out, so I'm not sure. SF says, I've hunted Oregon. Yeah, man. Oregon has good hunting, big deer, and other things, And Mitch Lewis says, enjoyed your live stream. Well, thank you, brother. I'm glad that you stopped by. I appreciate your input and your contribution to the discussion. It's always fantastic. SF says, "'Tis true, a lot of logging. My town is of 20,000 is a logging town." Yeah. Big trees there, man. Many mills, yeah. Got to process it. That's, the industry that has been built up around it, and, they're trying to take it down. The spotted owl and all that drama and whatnot. My philosophy is if you can't grow it, it must be mined. And that's a quote from the late and great George Massey. George Massey was a pioneer in the prospecting world and a true patriot. And that's what he would always say is, if you can't grow it, it must be mined. And growing it by anything, be it hemp, be it tree, be it agricultural crop, whatever. So that's the philosophy I've adhered to my whole life. And, well, not, in my whole adult life. So as I progress through this world, of course, can't really do either of those here. But eventually I'd love to definitely be growing my own food. Saturn says, in pH, is food packaging required to list the ingredients? I avoid coloring and MSG. It is, but like some of the labels don't have the things, and MSG is going to be your hugest nemesis. They cook with MSG in everything. They call it magic syrup, but the primary ingredient in magic syrup is MSG. So expect that if you eat anywhere, Jollibee, in McDonald's, any of those, places, even in a different kind of restaurant, like a sit-down, nice restaurant, the chefs are going to be using MSG. They call it magic syrup. Remember that. So that is the primary reason why we do most of our cooking at home. And if we go out, there's nothing you can do about it. It's in everything. So MSG is huge in Southeast Asia. There's different brands of it. They call it magic syrup. They call it some other name too, a big brand, but it's literally in everything. So it's hard to avoid when you go out. So the easiest way to avoid it is if you do your own home cooking. Jared says, I think what is it, co-oping maybe? I don't know. Should come back. Planned lumber farms. Yeah, I mean, if they grew poplar trees, man, poplar trees grow so fast, and aspens, they could do a lot with that industry. MSG makes my ankle swell, says the Kang. Well, yeah, and it's definitely something to do, and I've read a lot about it over the years. MSG gets into your DNA, and if you have kids, it goes into their DNA too. And you can say, "Oh, that's a conspiracy" or whatever, but read up on it. You'll see. Saturn says, "There goes my date at Jollibee plans." Yep. You can expect that it's going to be in your Jollibee food for sure. Fried chicken, you'll see the fried chicken stands. They all mix their breads with the seasonings, the breading, I mean, with the seasonings, and that's a little packet of magic syrup. So Yeah, almost unavoidable unless you cook at home. And even then, you have to watch. Like if you buy seasonings and things, it sometimes will have that in it. Um, but MSG is definitely a thing here. It's huge. Have you tried durian? Um, Probably, but I don't. It doesn't ring a bell. Like I can't say. I've tried so much, man, and half the time I'll ask, "What is this?" and then they'll answer me, and I have no idea what they said. You know, so I just eat it. I'm not sure, what it is. It could be, it could be like a testicle, like a pig testicle, for all I know. But yeah, but it's true. Like you ask, "What is this?" or "What's that?" and they tell you, and, oh, okay, what? And then they try again, and I'm like, "Oh, whatever, give it to me." Oh, the stinky fruit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks. Um, yes, I've tried it. Um, a couple of times. The first time I tried it, I didn't like it, and they said, "Oh, the people I was with, they said, oh, it's not a ripened, it's not a good um, example of it." So I tried it again, and it wasn't so bad. But Lily, she loves it. Uh, what I don't like is dried fish. I just can't stand the smell of it when it's cooking. It's so overpowering. But to be honest, I haven't tasted it. I've taken a one bite of it just to try, and it was just really salty. Wasn't anything to write home about, but I don't like the smell of it. Elvis says he won't eat balut. You know, when I was here before, everybody was trying to get me to eat balut, and I was here almost 3 years, and I never did. And then, I made trips back, people, drinking, "Eat it, it's good for your stamina in the bedroom," and blah, 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 all that thing. And I never did. But then when I came here this time around, I eventually did try one. And I think I'd hyped it up so much in my mind that I thought it was just going to be so gross. And it really just tasted like a warm, hard-boiled egg with some crunch in it. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. And believe me, I don't like to eat gross things. But my honest opinion is that it wasn't as bad as I had built it up to potentially be. Jared says, "I think durian smells exactly like diesel fuel." Well, I don't know. I like the smell of fuel. Elvis says, "Some crunch, nasty." Well, yeah, you would think so, but it was pretty much that thing that I just needed to do it so that I could say that I'd done it. So I did it, and now I said that I've done it, and I haven't went back for it, and I won't. I don't see the purpose in eating those things, and my wife doesn't even eat them either. I tried to buy her one when I was eating it, and she didn't even want one. So it's kind of the thing: you either love it or you're indifferent towards it, or you're a cono like us, and you're like, "No way, I'm not eating that crap." Donna slurps the balut down and loves it. I know, right? And it just seems like really, really gross, but you should try it, man. Drink a couple of beers or something, and just give it a go. You'd be surprised. I think you'd be surprised. It really just tastes like a hard-boiled egg that's warm still, and it's a little bit like the yolk is a little harder. Like when you boil an egg, it's real soft, but the yolk is just more chewy. But it tastes just like an egg, because go figure, it's an egg. But and that juice that they call the soup or whatever, it really didn't have a flavor. Like I filmed myself doing it, and I was all like, It wasn't that bad. It was just, in my mind, I was grossed out, but the actual taste and everything wasn't that bad. My favorite snack with beer is sisig. Yeah, I like sisig. It's good. I love it with especially like with the fried egg in it and whatnot, or an egg on top of it. I want it when the sisig's like super sizzling. Saturn says, beyond the taste, it seems mean to kill it before it hatches. Yeah, I suppose so, huh? I don't know. I mean, people, you know, have different philosophies on that, and like animals and whatnot. But I never really thought of that actually, so that's why I'm pausing. Um, yeah, I suppose the duck population would be through the roof if they didn't do that. But I think they do that like balut farm or something. Um, my favorite fish. Oh man. Uh, Man, I buy the same fish all the time because it's big, fat, and it doesn't have very many bones. But I don't remember the name of it. I think it's galungong. Galungong. Yours is lapu. Yeah, that's a good one. Um, I like that, and they'll sell a fish in the market and they call it salmon, but it's not salmon. That's a pretty good one too. It kind of looks like salmon a little bit, but the meat isn't like salmon. But it's good. I like any fish that doesn't have a ton of bones. Like bangus, I'm not a fan of just because of the bones, and the flavor is a little bit earthy or something. But the flavor doesn't bother me as much as all those little tiny bones. Um, Jared said, "Have you ever seen someone composting there? It seems everyone throws things away. Is it because the land is fertile already?" Um, you know, a lot of the farming techniques um, are dependent on synthetic fertilizers. You're right. Um, but I don't want to speak for every farmer here because I don't really know. I know that I follow a Filipino woman who's a farmer. Her name's Ate Olong or something, and she does composts. And she's got a big, huge farm though, so I think she does a little bit of both. But I know some people do. But if I were going to do it, I would definitely make my own super soils, and it's not really hard to do. With some, I mean, they've got chicken poop at their disposal, all the food scraps, and the fish. That gives you all kinds of minerals and everything for your soils. So when I finally get to the point where I can have my own farm, I'm going to definitely be doing my own composting because it just makes sense and it's not hard to do. Fresh tuna is good. Problem is the mercury, but unfortunately, most everything these days has some kind of downside to it. I mean, Fukushima is not very far from Philippines, and I don't even want to pay attention to the readings that I've seen. I stopped reading that kind of stuff. But the radioactive material hit the Philippines like 4 or 5 years ago, or shortly thereafter Fukushima catastrophe. So it's all like tainted anymore. Sucks. Where are we at here? Okay. Elvis says he went out fishing with the locals and set nets and caught fish, then grilled. Now that's what's up right there. That's getting into it with the heart of the culture and the locals, man. That's dope. That's awesome. I think those are the experiences that more people need to have when they come here. You know, you didn't tell me about that. That must have been fantastic. That's awesome. Well, tell you what, guys. I was only planning on being on here for an hour, and I'm already 1:35 into it. I really got to go get some fish and some veggies and things. I think if I hurry, I can still make it before those vendors that I like split. So I think I'm gonna to sign off of here now. I really appreciate everybody's contributions, and Elvis asked, "Did you go to any festival activities in Cebu?" No, I didn't. There was a huge festival right over here in Cordova out there. That was going on for a couple of days. We didn't do anything with it. We just stayed home, did our daily day-to-day stuff. But anyhow, you guys, yeah, I'm gonna split off of here and try to go get some shopping done before they split. And I'm gonna be uploading a couple of videos. I got my my sponsorship video that I have to produce, and that'll be about whether or not you should marry a Filipino woman, something to that effect, about Filipino relationships, and so that'll be my next upload. And if you guys have any ideas, feel free to drop a comment or anything. Be glad if you have information you want or anything. Feel free to email me. Also check out my Facebook group, which is oh crap, I'm having a brain fart. Philippines expat group. I forgot. So check that out on Facebook. It's a good resource. A lot of discussion there. Up to almost 500 members now. And the more people that we get in there, the more information exchange will occur. So Philippines Expats Group. It's on Facebook. It's a group. Just search for it. And I'll probably end up putting a link on my community tab too, so people can find it that way. Everybody stay safe, and see you later, Elvis. I'll send you the contact information. And everybody stay safe out there. Thank you so much for your support and hanging out with me today. It was fun. And we'll see you again in a couple of days. I'll do this again. So take care, everyone. Adios.